Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's Littlefinger with another tank review. This time we're looking at the T26E4, also known as the Super Pershing. Yes, this is an American Tier 8 medium, and I say that very loosely. This is a super slow, heavy tank. With a lot of frontal armor here. You can see it. If you look at this upper plate here, you can see it's actually spaced armor. Obviously, you've got spaced armor here around the turret. But why are we reviewing this tank now? Well, it is for sale. So I wanted you to know what you might be getting if you decide to spend the 5,500 gold for it. 30 days premium, 500,000 credits, all of the equipment unlocked, and you get both the Eagle and the Predator camo. So actually a pretty good deal for a tier 8 tank. But is this a tank that you would like? Well, let's just run through some of the statistics and then we can talk about it. I mean, obviously it is a gorgeous looking tank. Not so much sure about the Eagle on the back there. But I guess it's pretty cool, right? So anyway, consumables, this is standard for me: repair kit, multi-purpose, and adrenaline. Provisions: running case of cola, improved fuel, and can of cola, skipping over the protective kit. Doing a 3-1-1 kind of loadout here. You're not going to use too much HE. I do shoot one in one of these battles, and you see it really doesn't do anything. Equipment. Calibrated shells. Your pen on this is pretty lackluster, to say the least. Defense system, improved optics, gets that view range up to 26. And then I'm running supercharge. Don't always run this kind of front line. So with our AP and APCR, we do get a little bit extra benefit with using supercharge. The gun is fairly accurate, so I'm not too concerned here about the aim time. The running enhanced armor, this is kind of a toss-up for me on this one. Only gets you 85 additional hit points. And we do have really nice frontal armor on this, so we're going to go with that plus 4%. Engine accelerator, vertical stabilizer, kind of helps offset choosing the supercharge. We would get that dispersion down to 0.31, but since we're a medium, quote-unquote medium tank, I like to have that vertical stabilizer. And enhanced tracks and consumable delivery system. Alright guys, this tank is worthy of looking at it, and tank inspector here, you can see all of this purple is spaced armor, but unfortunately for this tank, around the sides of the turret are penetrable by most tanks. And the other thing I wanted to point out here, when you're looking at the upper part of the hull, your 216, 215. When you get to the middle of the hull here, 274, 274, and then the bottom is 374. So not a lot of people are going to pen you underneath, but it's really difficult to hide that upper plate, or the turret, I should say. And what I wanted to point out here is the upper part of the hull is a little bit steeper, less effective armor. So when we switch over here to the pen view, so this is getting shot at by an IS. So it's really difficult to get yourself into a position where there's nothing but red. And obviously that's what we want to do. 10 degrees of gun depression, if I didn't mention it before. But even if you're on a hill looking down, you might be hiding that top part of your turret, but the sides are still penable. And even if you're turning your turret side to side when you think someone's going to shoot you, that area right here is, it stays in the same place. So you'll see me kind of wiggling side to side, just trying to avoid shots. It's obviously not always effective. And if we switch over, maybe let's see tier 9, an IS-8. You're going to see, if we switch over to APCR, this upper part here becomes penable. So just keep that in mind. It is really a difficult tank, uh, you know, to use angles to make this heavy armor effective. Alright guys, first game here, Yamato Harbor. We're bottom tier. And I'm going to skip over the Blitz stars and just use the Blitz hanger stats. And, not get into too much specifics here, but you can see a lot of orange. Means, we're mediocre as far as all of these numbers. From your hit points to your view range to all of your firepower, DPM, pen, damage, and shell velocity. Gun handling, we actually start getting into, a little bit of red towards the bottom half, bottom third of medium tanks as far as your dispersion. And these are all when moving, rotating turret and whatnot. So not too much to get worried about there. But your gun angle, depression, 10 degrees, obviously that's top of class, as with most American tanks. And the mobility, this is one of the slowest medium tanks. As we're pecking away here at this Panther 2. Miss out on the kill, but that's alright. That wasn't the best angling for this tank. I was basically pulling out sideways, but I was trying to stay in cap and try to get cap points as well, but obviously he did hit me a couple times. So here you can see it moving at 35 kilometers per hour. Top speed on it is listed at 40, but it is very sluggish. Your power to weight ratio is 10.8. Think of a Pantera as at 25. T26E4 19. 59 patent, 16. So that just gives you an idea of the acceleration getting started. It's not great. And there I did try to shoot at HE at the Leo. Obviously he was angled, but I just wanted to see what would happen there. And just the pen on the HE is just not good. 45 without equipment. So you're basically only going to use that to reset cap or something if you need to. Again, 205 for your AP. APCR is 258. And you're doing 225 average damage. And that's, and that's an E75 front on. We have to switch over to APCR, which should be expected. I think, though, had he been angling that, we might not have been able to pen at all from the front.
Enemy armor is damaged.
But a nice little reload here.
Enemy armor is damaged.
And, we're just keeping on target, and we're doing a lot of damage. And the benefit to this tank is its credit coefficient. So 190% as a premium tank. Most premiums come in at 170. So, you've got 20% extra credit coefficient there. So that's going to help make some decent amount of money. Obviously, I had to shoot some APCR and adrenaline, and yet we still made 83,000 credits, doing just a little bit over 2,000 damage in that game. Alright, here we are on Himmelsdorf, Supremacy top tier, and you're going to see the difficulty in this game of this turret being penetrable. So, as I get started here, I haven't really asked you guys to hit that subscribe button, so if you're new to the channel and haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I've set a goal for myself this year, 10,000 subscribers. We're closing in on 7,000 as we speak right now at the end of February. So again, the review on this tank is because it's for sale. in the store right now for 5,500 gold. Comes with 30 days of equipment. It comes with the Predator camo and the Eagle and all equipment slots. So for a tier 8 tank, it's actually a pretty good deal. However, it does have some drawbacks. As a medium tank, it is extremely sluggish, and you can see here, knowing that I've got a Lova in front of me, I've already switched over to APCR before I even pull out and look at that heat scan. I know I'm not going to be able to pen. So there's 3 shots in, and nice teamwork here of all focus firing on the same guy. Can never stress that enough. But as it being I don't know what I want to call it, a heavium type of tank. I mean, it's classified as a medium tank, but as we showed in the armor inspector, all of this frontal armor, it does get some good bounces. If you're, I think the key to it is to be moving and not stationary, so that turret, because that's your weak spot. And so if you're moving, I think people have a tendency to try to shoot the hull. And that's just basically an auto bounce zone. But here we go. So we've cleared up around, A, and these guys are hull down, we're hull down, and you're going to see the difficulty with this tank. So number one, the pen isn't great, and I'm trying to use AP. We're trying to shoot a small target, and look at this. Before we even pull around, I get shot. So that's because, you can see that Predator over there. You can just shoot the side of the turret. So before I even get my gun over the hill, they're already looking at the side of the turret. Look at this. Both of them hit. Leaving me one shot. So a hold down in this tank is not really a great strategy. And the problem is your DPM is fairly low compared to other mediums, so it works as a bully tank only because of the frontal armor. If you can keep people in front of you, you will get some bounces if you're up in their face. And this is just a disastrous finish to this game here. I think I accidentally blocked Lorraine. I figured he was pushing in for the kill, and nope, he was backing up, and in doing so I missed my shot. But obviously with 3 caps, only 50 caps needed. Now look at that, that's just an HE shot. He didn't even aim. But so the drawbacks here to this tank, and I've got one more game to show you, obviously, is its speed. It's super slow. But now look at this, 2,600 damage and over 70,000 in credits. So again, if you're looking for a tank that, can make some money, this is certainly a viable option. Alright, so third and final game here on Alpine Stud, and you can see we're bottom tier again. And I will admit, my win rate in this tank is not super great. Give me 1 second, I will pull it up. 50%. 40. I've only played 43 battles, so still kind of in that should know how to play it by now. But my average damage is just over 1,500, and like I always say, 200 per tier is a good goal. Anything above that, you're doing pretty well. So we should be in the 1,700 range, I think, but we're not. And a part of that, to me, I believe, is because this tank is just so slow, and I just feel that playing in mediums, I need to be able to get myself out of trouble. And I guess I really haven't learned that lesson with this tank just yet. And so you can see, looking at the mini map, we've got a guy in B, and the rest of my team are all surrounding A right now. And I kind of like pulling up to this bridge with a tank that's got good gun depression, because you can help with spots. You can keep an eye on people coming through town, and obviously you can quickly get back into fairly safe areas. And so right now, you know, I'm in a position where I'm helping my team because I'm doing the spotting, because now I'm up front. They're getting damage in. Standard B, tier 9, medium tank, you know. He bounced one there, so like I said, you know, you're gonna get some bounces here and there, but it's just not a tank that you can put yourself into a certain role, like a hold down and, you know, auto bounce all the time if you could stay there. So I know that IS-8, I believe it was, is around here. Oh, sure enough, there he is, looking the other way. So we get a shot in. I'm trying to back up and run into my own teammate there. But again, you know, with the turret being pinnable, there's really not a lot you can do. And you can't really COD. You really just gotta, you know, get lucky and try to get some bounces and play this tank smart. I figured this T49 here is coming around, so HE into the side, finish him off. That was a bit of a luck shot, because I was real close to his tracks there, but I didn't think, you know, had to get a nice roll to kill him. 220 being our average alpha. You know, and I know people play this tank really, really well. It's just not a tank that I like. I don't care for the playstyle. So I don't know. It's really up to you. It's up to you to how you play your tanks. But you know, I just did this full review on all of the American tanks, just kind of in general, and you know, obviously this fits right in there. It's not super fast. It's got good armor. It doesn't have great armor all around. It's got a decent gun and good gun depression. But this is a premium Super Pershing and 190% credit coefficient. So, you know, you're gonna make money if you're looking for a tank to make you money. If you're a collector, great. This is a super good deal. So with that, guys, have fun out there, and remember, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.